Jim, congratulations, a terrific scoreline and a really professional performance tonight.
I thought the game, I don't know whether it was a lack of atmosphere or the endeavour that we put inside it, but it looked a tired game, and I was just waiting for somebody to get the game going, and delighted we got the first goal, and that then always gave us the opportunity to contain them a little bit in counter-attack. And but yeah, there was obviously I'm hoarse from shouting and people behind me moaning about me shouting, but I felt I needed to just keep on top of certain players and keep them motivated, keep them instructed, and you know, we needed to make sure that we didn't sink too much in particular, and we defended the box well, and we, you know, tonight our attacking midfield line did the business for us, both in terms of pressing reasonably well and then being in, you know, creating opportunities to score as well.
I mean, looking at the stats, it'll tell you Kidderminster had twice as many chances as County tonight, but most of those were from distance, from long range, and that's because you defended the box so well. Yeah,
but I'm really disappointed. We can't get away with what we're doing at the moment. We're clearing poorly. Jason's not getting a hold of it, and that's not all his fault, because some of the balls up to him, he's just got no chance. Some of the breakout plays not great. We're breaking out and hesitating. These are games that we do over and over again in terms of how to step out with it. How to use Jason to spring the runners. When we do that, we look a really threatening side with the, you know, the likes of Bowen and Darren and Reese and Ben McKenna. You know, if you can release them on the back four, then you've got a chance. But yeah, it was you know, that perhaps we were guilty of giving away cheap possession and looking a little bit ragged for the first half. But the lads like I said, they defended the zone 14, and in particular in the second half, as the ball came in the box, we defended. The zone 14 is just outside the 18, you know, not letting them get into the you know, is that central attacking area where they were getting shots off. Never really troubled Ian, but the danger was that we needed to make sure that Jimmy and Harry were aware of anybody like True and people like that floating around and the wingers coming in. So we defended that well, and I think the second half we showed good discipline in terms of not giving away too many fouls, defending the box very well. So in that regards, like, you're right about the professionalism of the players.
In terms of your substitution, I must be pleased with that one, because obviously Reece Turner needs match fitness, doesn't he? And he was tiring a little bit, but Ben McKenna came on, not only protected Adam Thomas, but got himself a goal as well. Yeah, no, I'm delighted for Ben, because this is an important competition for him in terms of trying to, you know, establish himself. He was a bit unlucky because he did okay on Saturday when he came on. You know, we were considering leaving Reece on the bench and perhaps bringing him on for Jason. We weren't sure how Jason would fare from Saturday to Tuesday, but I think Reece wanted to start and play, and I'm delighted with that choice. And but like I said, Ben, when you look at your bench and when you consider what we had on the bench, Ben's the one that you're looking to perhaps to come on, and the one position we expected Ben to come on was, you know, to get a good half hour, because I don't know all the injury issues with Reece and all the match fitness issues, but what we don't want to do is overwork him to the point that he breaks down. I think he's enjoyed himself tonight. He's got his goal. He had a great impact in his debut, and I think he's got 260 minutes now. And what we'll do is just keep working hard on him, and you know, to have that along with Darren and you know, I mean, when you look at the players we didn't have tonight, Ben, Dan Cowan, Sam Minahan, Chris Smalley, we've got Jamie Stark, we've got Gary Stopford, Matty Warburton, and you know, I mean, I've got a few problems over the next couple of weeks, but as I said to lads, we're going to need them over. Never mind over the season, we're going to need them all in the next couple of weeks, because it's going to be a very demanding schedule. And what we want to do is continue the momentum that we've created back before the turn of the year, before Christmas, and it's a heartening performance to know that we can beat a team that I think will be in the playoffs. The third goal, there seems to be some debate over who was going to take the penalty. Do you get involved in those kind of issues? I know, obviously, normally it'd be Matty Warburton, but who should have taken the penalty? And we know Bohan did. Well, I think it becomes a big issue if the player that shouldn't be taking it doesn't score, as we've seen on Match of the Day, and it wasn't critical in terms of the 2 points that it cost Crystal Palace, for example. But I don't know what went on, but it looked like to me that Darren wanted to take it, and then Jason, and then Bowen. But you know, Jason was happy enough for Bowen to take it, but a strange one, because obviously I think Matty Warburton's our normal penalty taker, and
Jason, I think the next player in should be the player who's probably the most confident striker, scoring goals and knows where the net is. So Jason was my choice, but I'm just surprised that he's allowed Bowen to take it. But not a big issue. We put it away, and it's nice for the fans that came tonight. I'm sure we'll have a few more if we get to the semi-finals or Wembley. But thanks for those people that come out tonight. It was a cold, wet night, and hopefully they enjoyed another good game of football here at Edgeley Park.
Well, we are into the third round of the FA Trophy. First time ever County have been in the last 16, and you're 3 ties away from Wembley now. Are you starting to think about returning to that famous stadium where you enjoyed that success not too long ago?
Well, it's kind of weird because you looked at the potential date of it. It would be the same day as 10 years ago.
Right.
Look, it's not our priority. I think for the club it's a nice boost in terms of confidence, in terms of a bit of cash. I've sort of looked at it from the point of view it's nice to go to somewhere like Maidenhead and challenge ourselves against a team that's been promoted and established themselves in the national. We didn't fare too well last year against those type of teams, but no, the lads have earned that opportunity to play that game. I definitely would have preferred to be playing Maidenhead away than to have no game, but we have to park that one now. That'll come around soon enough, but we've got Southport, Harrogate, York, massive games coming up, and I'd like to think that when we go into the Maidenhead game that we're in the playoffs, and that's the challenge to our players now as we move forward into a challenging week. And the big problem I've got in when we beat Southport 6-0 and we didn't change the team, we went with the win inside, and we went with the win inside after Southport, is to see what that hangover is in terms of fitness and freshness, and the lads just have to be honest with me, and we have to be careful in terms of the physicality of players and the mentality of players and the emotion of being dropped and that. But I think players understand that we'll pick the team that we think can get the result, and then it'll come around again on Tuesday night and Saturday. But it's great competition at the moment for places, and I'm really pleased with the squad. So I appreciate the board's backing in that regard, and I think we're reaping the rewards of that backing in terms of the strength of the squad at the moment. The work on the training ground's paying off in terms of set plays and defensive unit and clean sheets, and I'm really pleased with the lads have applied themselves so well, and that we're looking very strong at the moment. But again, let's move on now, and let's hope we're talking very positively after Saturday's game.
I know you don't always single out individuals, and there wasn't a sponsor's man of the match tonight, so I wouldn't mind if you could maybe name who you thought should have been the man of the match tonight. Yeah, well, I'm not going to give it to Mike O'Brien again, but he did have. I was in here early this morning. I came back at lunchtime, and then I was here early, and fortunately, I think people in Stockport have been hearing all sorts of thunderclouds and rain, and we had a quite an eventful morning and afternoon at the academy in terms of the kind of things that were thrown down on top of us. But no, fortunately the game was on. But no, if I was going to pick anybody out, I like Adam Thomas. You're talking about a player who's working his way back out, like Darren. He's not catching attention, but I thought he was excellent on Saturday, and very professional, and asked him to do a job at right back, and he's gone about his business really well. Himself and Scott came in yesterday and worked really hard on this set plays, so I'm really pleased with the professionalism them two are showing. So it's very hard. Ian Olmsson clean sheet, back four clean sheet, goals for the attacking players. But if I was going to pick out with somebody that I didn't have to say a word to on the sideline because he went about his business as well as he could have, was Adam Thomas. Fantastic, well done. Thanks so much.